Hey guys, it's Matt Does Games, and I have a very exciting Warno video, which is going to be with some people in my Discord. It looks like this is going to be Death Row, and it's going to be a Wooden and Silver Garu. And so this is kind of a fun game. Wooden is a really good player. He's always been a kind of a nuisance to fight against, but let's press play. So Wooden is going to be playing as the the 39th Infantry Division, and Silver Garu is going to be playing as the 82nd Airborne Division, which is kind of the new division. And as you can see, if you're looking at the time, it's going to be the whole 44 minutes. So I'm going to kind of fast forward and then do some analysis while it's going on. So Silver Garu is the Airborne Division. As you can tell, he's sending up his airborne people and moving them forward, trying to get a rush. It looks like he's got some ATGMs. He's got some M35s. You can even, in the airborne division, you can even do a air defense. So that's pretty wild. So he's sending in his recon. I'm going to do a little bit of a fast-paced thing, and we're going to stop it here. Sorry, guys. And then we are going to go to normal speed. So with it paused, though, I kind of want to look at some analysis here. So what a Wooden knows is that he's the 82nd division. He knows that he's going to spam. So what he's doing is he's calling in, and I might be wrong, but he's calling in AA helicopters. You're probably thinking, why is he calling in AA helicopters? The reason behind that is because he's trying to take out infantry units, because the AA helicopters wreck infantry units, and he knows for a fact that there's going to be some infantry spam because it's the 82nd Infantry Division. So he's trying to counter that with these Mi-24 AA units. So if you send those helicopters in, that's actually a really good counter because they're going to destroy them. But what Silver Garu did really well was he didn't just send infantry; he also sent in anti-air. So let's jump in and let's see how this goes. So looking at this, it looks like Silver is trying to do some sort of plan. On the far right, I think he's like trying to hold them for a little bit, and then he's going to do a really long flank to try and get into Echo and try and do like a flank like that, or he's trying to wait to see what's going on here. A lot of the times in Death Row, this is kind of how it goes. It already seems these Mi-24s are getting hit. Already, Silver is sending in some stingers. Honestly, I don't really know what the point limit was, but it did seem that Silver spent everything on forward deployment. And so he's already calling in some anti-air, and it looks like this is working really well. You have these BMP-3s, super strong units that are pushing forward with a tank as well as a T-62M, which is the new tank that isn't as expensive. But as a unit and having anti-air helicopters, this is a great combination. What a Wooden is trying to do here is he's trying to push the line where he's able to try and get an idea of where they're at, because the moment he gets that command unit in, he's going to be able to push forward. But as that happens, he loses a ton of units thanks to these tow missiles that are also able to be forward deployed. Something that I want to do is, as the game gets more fleshed out, I want to create a noob-friendly video. It's just not worth it right now. But as the game gets fleshed out, probably whenever Army General comes out, I think that's when I'll do it. And a Wooden already kills that anti-air, so now, right now, in this sector, from what a Wooden knows, there is no anti-air, but you have to be careful with helicopters. They are feeble, and they will get killed. So he actually, at the perfect time, manages to push those people back right when Silver Garu is sending in these guys, but they might not see this Motostreki unit here, but we do have an engagement in the woods. We have these airborne dragons. I'm not too sure how strong that is against these type of units because these are new. I'm still trying to catch on. If you get too close to these sapperies, though, it is not going to be fun. We do have two recons duking it out with Silver Garu in the back. He needs to move up that Bradley, which is what he's doing to try and push forward, but let's jump over here. So as you can tell, there is no command units going on because we're trying to get our baseline. If we overcommit with the command units, they're expensive. It's not a good idea. We got to get the baseline first, then send the command units in. So really, really strong gameplay from both Awuden and Silver. And it looks like these Humvees are doing a good job. Let's get a good look at them, so we can actually see what kind of, see how they look. I do wish they had a actual like character like in the gunner. I think that would look a lot better. It does look like Silver is winning this engagement here. He's also sitting in some other recon units. We do have a MiG coming by that looks like it is going to be accurate. Knocks out both recon units. Holy moly. That's gotta hurt. And it flies by. Awesome. These 3 units will take these guys out quick, but as you can see, we got some guys that are going to help them. So still no baselines being set. I have a feeling that Silver, is going to call in a command unit. I was kind of thinking that was going to happen. No offense to Silver, but Wooden's really good, and Silver's probably thinking, I need to get some help. I need to get some points just to try and put some pressure on, and that makes total sense. The Bradleys in this game are insane. You got to be careful with the amount of infantry units, because the moment a plane can spot them, they're all going to die. Also, right here, we're kind of wasting this unit. This unit needs to be by that Abrams as a support unit, and Wooden is trying to get his baseline set up in the lower left-hand corner. He's kind of waiting right now with his A just to make sure it's good. He's probably going to try and scout out a little bit, see if he can find any anti-air. And the moment he can find it, he's like, all right, cool, I found the anti-air. Let's get rid of it, and then we'll move the helicopters up. So this is going to be a pretty intense game. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to speed it up just a little bit, just to try and get something going. So the AA unit gets hit right over there. And then we have these airborne units moving in, and then we have this anti-air right next to the tank, which makes sense. Wooden is using the BMP-3, and I'm going to slow it down because it's hard to keep up with. Wooden is using the BMP-3s as kind of like a secondary infantry unit, which is kind of how I like to move. And then we also have a Wooden putting in the anti-air. He's also, which is kind of how this goes with Death Row. This is kind of like how everyone does their push, because it's really like what you have to do, right? They're going to send a lot of their units through the trees to see if they can get into the other area. So at this point in time, Wooden is trying to get some points to try and bridge the gap. And that is probably going to make it to where Silver will probably call in another command unit, because, he's trying to also make sure that it's all set up. We do have a recon helicopter, and Silver is going to murder that helicopter whenever he gets a shot, and he does. And let's take a look at this vehicle. It's a new vehicle. It's awesome. And it will kill that helicopter. But it does kind of let... all those shots, though. It literally, like, he had to... He's sending a supply unit, because to kill one helicopter, he shot 8 shots. That's pretty intense. And it looks like Wooden... I don't know if I might have missed it, but there really isn't a lot of protection here. And Wooden really could push pretty hard. But it looks like Silver is trying to mass up his troops on one side, which is the right side, and just hoping his troops here can hold off just a little bit. I think what he's trying to do is, like, he's trying to get in control of the middle, because he's like, if I can get in control of the middle, then I don't really have to worry about anything else. But he still has his tow unit, which I think if they put him, like, right here, right in this little corner thing, they have, like, really long sight lines. And also, this is new. Let's take a look at this. I'm just curious. Dude, that is so cool looking. Look how awesome that is. And they're, like, moving around constantly. Super cool looking. This game is doing a lot of updates, and I think they're just doing it the right way. So I'm just really proud of, like, how they're going about it. I'm trying to get good shots while I'm... Oh! And that plane gets shot down, but Wooden is pushing the right, which I think is the right play. So whenever you're doing, like, 1v1s and you're doing these games, you have to look at, like, all right, what are they committing at? Are they committing this side? Okay, well, if they're committing that side, that means they have most of their troops on that side. So I need to commit on the other side to counteract that. But you also need to be able to defend yourself so you don't have to worry about losing that side. So it looks like what Silver's doing, he's trying to do a mix where he's like, oh, I'm going to do Stingers and I'm going to do M35s. He's got to be careful, though, because Awunin does have those BMP3s, but unfortunately they can't see him because they have really bad line of sights because what Awunin's doing, he's trying to focus on this area, and he doesn't necessarily care about over here. Which is, it's a pretty popular spot, and it looks like Awunin kind of figured something was going on because he moved his AA helicopters over there. He's like, I think they're like harboring some troops over there, so we're going to keep an eye on that. But what Awunin is also trying to do is while he's doing that, he's going to be setting up some mortars, probably going to try and do a smoke screen, if I had to guess, to push up his troops. And Silver realizes this is happening. He's like, I need to get some points in here because I'm probably going to lose this side, and it's not going to be good. So funny that there still has not been a command unit taking the center, but they're still trying to get their shit together, and he needs to evac and get those guys in a building quick, and that's what he'll probably do. He's probably running right into that building to get them safe. And you have these two BMPs. He's calling in a recon helicopter, probably because what he's trying to do is he calls in a recon helicopter. He actually took it away. But if you call in a recon helicopter and you have a cluster bomb ready to go, you call them in, and then you cluster bomb them to try and get rid of their enemies. But let's move over here. Silver is very committed to taking this side, but with those helicopters, he is smart. He does have his anti-airs helping, so the moment that Awunin brings these helicopters over here, these guys should see them, but they're not very accurate. That's the issue. Is they can kill, but will they be able to kill them? And it looks like they are, so this is working out really well. And this is going to completely foil Awunin's plan. But when this happens, he is dropping an HE, but I think he should have dropped it somewhere else. He dropped it right on that anti-air, and he's going to kill it. But he did lose a plane, so it's like you lost a plane, but you killed like a 50-point anti-air. Is it worth it? Awunin's getting these mortars ready, about to do a smoke screen or something. I'm not really sure what he's going to plan. I've always thought about doing like a really big smoke screen and then like pushing my troops forward. Because where he's aiming right now, I honestly can't tell. I'm kind of curious what he's going to do here. Because he must not see a lot of units, and Silver hasn't even undeployed these airborne units. They're going to land eventually, right? Where are they going? Here they come. Is that a smoke? Is that smoke? No, that's not smoke. That looks like smoke, doesn't it? I can't tell, honestly. But the mortars are coming down. But as he's doing that, he's sending up troops. He doesn't have a lot, though. Doesn't have a lot. He definitely dedicated a ton of points. And as you can see over here, he's starting to move some more BMPs, even some T-62Ms, which I think are like really cheap units. And he even has an anti-air, but he's trying to take out that recon helicopter. And he does. And the plane does not make it, so he loses the plane. He still has this guy safe and sound. I'm not sure. I mean, from the line of sight, it seems like he can see it. Let's go to Awunin's perspective just to see. Can he see? He can't see the units. And I think that's a good way to analyze things as well. So right now we're at a neutral. I think we're going to start seeing some command units come in to try and take that center. I'm not sure who's going to be the first one to do it. And there it is. It's Silver. So Silver's like, all right, fine. I'm going to do it. The thing is, when you're showering these mortars, you can see it from across the map. So if I was a Wooden or a Silver, I would get some planes and I would mortar the ever living crap. I don't think this SCU could do it, but you obviously don't know. But it really does seem like a Wooden's lost a good amount of units, while Silver is actually has a good amount. The only thing is a Wooden, if he knew this, he could really take the right side. But the thing is, with Fog of War, if we go on a Wooden's perspective, he actually can see a good amount. What the heck? No, this is a Wooden. I'm sorry. And his perspective, he's red. So he's not really sure like what's going on. And then on Silver's perspective, he has these guys, and he is sending a whole lot of people from M35s. He's got a ton of infantry over here. He still has his tow unit, which honestly could do so much. Come on, Silver.
Get down.
But let's go back to neutral so we can see the whole story. Wooden is sending some BMPs. The biggest issue, so they actually found the command unit, so that's really good. And he kind of has an idea of where they're at. He's just slightly missing. So Silver just needs to like calm down a little bit. And this is really going to hurt Wooden, because when you're sending those tanks in there, he's attacking the Stingers, so it's actually working really well because they can't defend themselves against that. Two T-62s will be fine. Honestly, there's no way they can stop these tanks, so those T-62s will be able to kill that entire unit. So that their entire anti-air on the side it's completely ruined. Like, they can't even defend themselves. So that was a good bet by Wooden to push that way. But look at all of these troops. I can't even. He's really pushing hard. Let's look how epic that is. Amazing. So yeah, no chance that Wooden can do that push. What Silver needs to do is displace these guys in all of the buildings, put them in trees, get them set up. He's even got some helicopters flying in from the 82nd Division. Whoops, let me get a look at these helicopters. They're doing that stupid seesaw thing that I hate. But as this is happening, it's kind of flip-flopped. So Silver saw that Wooden was attacking that way, so he went that way. But now we're doing the seesaw thing where it's flip-flopping the other way, where now Wooden is attacking that side. But Wooden is going to have to move a command unit into the center to stop this. So you should probably see a command unit be ordered soon to try and stop the bleeding. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to get a lot of units to set his baseline. And then with that, he can move a command unit safely. Wooden has a really strong spot right here. The only downside with these BMP-3s, they're super strong, but they're really, really slow. And he has his command unit. He's waiting. Oh, no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm stupid. I thought he would. Yeah, I thought he had a command unit there waiting. But what he could do is he could have a command unit just like chilling there and just wait, call in some infantry units, call in some tanks, and then send them in together. That way they're protected. But it does look like Silver is losing the, on his perspective, the right side. He has so many units over here, so many. I mean, he completely dedicated to the left side to try and stop a Wooden on that side. And it worked, but he's got to keep moving forward because they're going to get hit by those mortars, which you'll see right there. So they got to keep moving. Silver Garu is going to probably put some guys here. I honestly, at this point, I would just try and hold the center. Put some guys here in the woods to hold them off, and then move your baseline here. One of the biggest ways that I've seen wins... Oh, this will be good. That was a good one. One of the biggest ways that you win this game, and I don't really do 1v1s normally, but if you have the center... and you're able to kind of, I guess if I had a line. So if I was in Silver's perspective, if I'm able to have my team, like, kind of around this line, like, maybe like 3/4 of the quadrant, or not 3/4 of the quadrant, 3/4 of the square. If you're able to have that where you have the trees, then all you have to worry about is this section. Because they can't take this area, it's too open. And like that's what Wooden's doing right now. He's able to take it because there's no line of sight. If you're able to rush this area and take this, have a few people here to watch your flanks, because a Wooden already snuck by, you should probably be okay. But that is the hard part. But right now we're at a +3. Let's speed it up just a teeny bit, because I don't want to waste y'all's time. This is a fun game. I'm not trying to be rude, but we're just trying to see where it's going to go. So Wooden has snuck in those T-62s. I think he's looking for the AAs, but Silver is bringing in the M1IP Abrams, which isn't a bad tank. So it'll probably annihilate those T-62s once it runs into it, right in its face. Takes out one, takes out two. So that's gone. And then right when that happens, we drop that. That didn't do much damage. And I think Silver got a little too cocky. What he should have done, I honestly think, is control this square. You have the center. You're getting +3. Take over the center. I think Wooden is being a little too cute. And as you can tell, he realized that, and now he's calling in his command unit to try and stop the bleeding, which is this +3 going on right now. He's also guessing with his mortars, which is kind of like a new meta. So like artillery is kind of pointless, honestly. And not that they're pointless. They just don't do a lot of damage, but mortars actually do. So a lot of people have been using mortars. We do have these sapper units. The moment they get close, they really hurt. But what Wooden or Silver did really well was kind of spread out his units a little bit. Look at the line of sight on this. You shouldn't have your recon units there. You should kind of move them out to where they can actually see. I think Silver would be better placed if he kind of put this guy like right here. He did get pushed away, and then as that happens, you do have a Wooden come in and actually start getting the advantage on his side. So now we're actually flipping. So that's pretty intense. With 18 minutes left, this game is not even close to being over. Silver now, I think he's going about it. He's trying to push this side. I don't think he needs to. He had all these units. He's got this set up. He's got the left side of the square set up, but unfortunately he did lose the right. But with these units, if he just kind of like put them in buildings and kind of protected his side a little bit, just making sure he couldn't get the command unit, I think he'd be fine. But that's a lot of capital to move over here. And funnily enough, so you look at this and you're like, why does it Wooden have these guys? These dudes shred infantry, and this recon unit's about to get murdered by that AA. And he does have that logistics unit just kind of constantly feeding them, but Silver's got to do something because Wooden is catching up pretty quickly. You do see Silver is calling in another command unit. His was killed. He actually, I think he's going through the one issue. Well, maybe he's doing it. So one problem with Death Row is the pathfinding is pretty bad. And sometimes if you don't pay attention, they'll go all the way over here, right in front of the enemy, then turn right and get blown up. And that happens every now and then. These units, I don't know. I don't know if the military police will beat them. I guess we'll find out. The AA unit just went kind of untouched there. We have some more T-62 M1s, and it looks like Silver was like, I hate your stupid mortars. I'm going to mess you up. And the BTR is actually having a run. He probably found it, and that's why he's moving his helicopters. And he actually kills the command unit, taking away that advantage. Who knew that helicopters could be so powerful? He really should keep these guys close by and take out those mortars, because those mortar units wouldn't have a chance. This is the time for Silver to strike, 100%. Really, really close game. He's calling in some more anti-air because of some of the planes that flew by that kind of went uncontested. And then a Wooden is getting some infantry units with some assisted tanks. This entire time, a Wooden has had this recon unit. But what I'm curious about is, has it even helped? No. Wooden should probably move him like in this area so he could actually see it a little bit more. But he's busy, so that makes sense. Sometimes if you move it over on different perspectives, it kind of helps. So Silver is pushing forward. There isn't a lot of resistance over here, so this might work. But the thing is, whenever they come across this guy, that dude can actually do a good amount of damage. And are they going to be able to stop him? They're probably going to capture that logistics unit. And now, unfortunately, he's sensed that command unit, but it's like all over that infantry. They're going to have help. He's going to have to move them away. I have to see. Hold on. They can't see where the command unit is, but they're about to find it. They're going to move forward and find it, I bet. And there goes Silver, moving the command unit out, so the colors are going to go away. And they see it, and it's getting beaten up. He's got to get him in the woods. But right now, he is winning. He does have double. So let's move the time up a little bit more. So we do have silver. I think he's looking at this, and he's like, oh, hey, like, I think I could actually unload these guys and, like, really do some damage. He does lose that one command unit. He actually loses 2. So he loses that. He's got to unload these guys. He unloads those guys, and these dudes are perfectly placed to get a flank. But at this point in time, he's got to move these guys quick because Awudin is going to call a strike, and he's taking away the advantage by getting the center. So that's going to give Awudin a +1 advantage. And Silver actually lost 2 command units. And now Awudin has completely taken the right side. He needs to move his recon helicopter up, though, so he can get a better view. But it all works out. He does have some good, some well-placed recon helicopters, and I think Awudin has some very, very strong BMP units. What I really like doing, I do the exact same thing as Awudin. I unload and I use my BMPs as additional infantrymen, but this is a really strong placement by Silver. He does need some more help, though. He only has a command unit and 2 infantry units, and as you can tell, there's a lot going on here, and he didn't move his command unit because you got to move them right after it happens. The moment they see that color change, you got to move them because they're going to know exactly where you are. Silver is definitely in a tough spot because I don't think his unit's going to hold, but if he can get them here, he'll be able to get in it. It'll be a tie, and it'll be playing for time. And unfortunately, this unit is not going to be able to withstand that amount of attacks, and they will falter. But as that happens, we have all of this airborne, we have anti-airs, we have a ton of infantry. I think they're going to be set right there. It's going to take a lot for Awudin to have to press through that. Can he hold that long? Because he doesn't have a lot of infantry on the left, but Awudin doesn't know that. Because if we go to Awudin's perspective, he has no idea what infantry lies in front. So we have another. We have a cluster dropping. It was a miss. We have a lot of anti-air here, but it is going to get hit pretty hard by that infantry, and they will all die. RIP. This is going to be a battle of attrition. But I do like what he has here. He has these recon units set up with these airborne units. Lots of infantry. They're really bunched together, so you gotta be careful with that, because the moment they get eyesight of that, it's gonna be Air City. But what Awudin has to do, what he has to do to try and win, because he only has 7 minutes, he has to take this section. He probably knows that the centers might be too difficult to take. He can try. And he's guessing right now on this area. But what he has to do is he has to amass a lot of troops and try and take this area. And I think he can. But it's all about how will Silver go about it. He is kind of setting up like a pretty good side attack. He's dropping bombs, but he's not being very lucky. Let's look at it on this perspective. Yeah, so he's doing a pretty good like side attack right here. Doesn't have a lot of anti-air. Has this guy all the way back there. And Silver's bringing in some rocket Apaches who should probably take out those tanks pretty easily. And they get lit up pretty quick. And they're cheap tanks. They're not very expensive. And then as you can tell, Awudin has started moving in some troops in the right. And he knows that he's got to take this area if he has any chance of winning, because Silver has one hell of a defense right now. And Awudin is trying to take out some of their Apaches with their anti-air planes. Unfortunately, weren't able to take out some, but these guys should take them out pretty easily. Do have some more T-62s. Let's take a look at them. It's pretty cool. And here comes the push. Forward, men! Forward! So they're starting to push now. You're probably going to see a command unit come in. Yep, right there. Do the push. Honestly, what I've thought about is getting some cheap command units and have them push with them because they give them veterancy. But it's also really dangerous because they could die. As this is happening, Wooden is just trying to protect his command unit right here, this BTR, and just making sure that he can have a baseline to be like, all right, like let's just make it to where they can't push me, and I'm going to do a little bit of distraction, and I'm going to move in and attack from here. And he has a good amount of units, and Silver doesn't have a lot on the left. I think he's actually going to take this, but with only 3 minutes left, I don't think he's going to have enough time. He really has to move quick. And this is going to be pretty damn close. Wooden is definitely having to press hard here if he has any chance. He's gonna have to move even further. He's got to take out Silver on this side. If he can take out that unit, let's go to normal speed. If he can take out that unit over there, he might actually win. But with a minute left, sorry guys, with a minute left, I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it. He does send in the T-80Us, but right to a side shot, no bueno. Only one airborne unit is left with the Motostrikeys coming in, but he only has a minute 35, and he's got to cover at least, what is that, 400 points? I don't think it's going to be enough time. Even if this was an unlimited time frame where you could just like go forever, I still don't know if Wooden would be able to pull this off. Maybe. But he's definitely pressing. He's looking hard. He's like, I'm sending anybody I can. And so now Wooden is at a +2 with a minute left. That dragon, that airborne dragon is still kicking. He needs to move these BMPs up to support him. He's rushing hard to see if he can find that engineer unit. I mean, Wooden has lost a lot of units in this push. There's an H unit flying by. Oh no, he accidentally steps out. He needs to step back in. That's going to take away his advantage. Step back in. He steps. It's not going to be enough time. If you can get it to where it's under 200 points, it'll be a draw. But with 20 seconds left, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough time. Oh, yeah. Silver's sending in an A-10 rocket. That's amazing. Can you even see what's going on? Oh, he's just shooting that helicopter for fun. Yeah, why not? Kill the helicopter, right? And we're dropping some bombs. With 1 second left to go. Will they get it off in time? No. Well, that was a great game. That was a ton of fun. A minor victory, minor defeat. You definitely saw the pressure come on. Those M1 IP Abrams. Good job, right? So I just wanted to make a video to where we could see the 82nd Infantry Division. They're a ton of fun. I don't think a lot of people say they're OP. I really don't. I think they have their weaknesses, and I think it is a weakness that they have. Like, I think they have their weakness that they have. I'm trying to say is they have a very, very small window of an advantage. That window is they can take over the field really quickly from the start, but can they sustain it? How do you stop that? And there's a lot of counters to stop that, and a lot of people don't realize that. So they're a super fun division. They're fun to watch, and this game was an amazing showcase of that. But just looking at what Wooden did, which was his way of stopping it, which was doing AA helicopters, it did work. He thwarted them. But even then, though, it's all about how you place them. Can they see? Are you giving them recon units? I think it's fun. I really like it. I think Eugen did a great job with this update. I'm not a genius, but I think it was a good time. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I shall see you in the next one. See you then.